On a post that I posted yesterday, I posted two, I forget which one it was, but I was basically talking about how women give up everything, career, their goals and dreams, once they get into relationships with men. Meanwhile, the men in these same relationships get to flourish and do whatever they want to do. And somebody commented under that post and said, a career and going to work is a dream, a goal, sounds like a nightmare. Let me just say this, okay? For those of you who aren't idiots, you know that common sense, when you give up your job and your career and become financially dependent on a man, you are putting yourself at risk to be left with nothing and to be abused. Also, there are some people who actually have jobs that they do like, aside from, the risk of getting abused and left. There are some people who have jobs that they like. Also, if you think for 1 second that being a stay-at-home mom isn't a job, you're undervaluing yourself. Yes, person A might get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, sit in traffic for 30 minutes, go to their job, clock in at 8 and leave at 5. But honey, you've been working ever since that baby's been up, and you've been working long after that baby's asleep, because you got to pack lunches and you got to do laundry and you got to plan dinner for the next day and plan out the schedule for the next day, and you've been helping kids with homework and you got to clean the kitchen and fold the laundry. You still have been working the same amount of time as that woman who has left the house to go to work. The only difference is she's getting paid and probably has some type of benefits, whether that be vacation time or whatever. She's getting out of the house and interacting with other adults. Not all the adults might be competent. There might be some toxic work people, but she's getting out of the house and getting fresh air. And as someone who was a stay-at-home mom when my kids were little, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I fucking hated it. Love my children, but I fucking hated being at home. I got cabin fever, seeing the same walls in the house every day, doing the same thing, kids hanging off of me, crying, screaming, cleaning up, throw up, and food and diapers. It was depressing, and I never want to do it again. If I were to have another child, there'd be a nanny involved. So if you're sitting here trying to paint this idea that being a stay-at-home parent is this picture-perfect, la-la, Disneyland happy situation, you are absolutely delusional, okay? And because I was not making my own money, it was harder for me to leave because I had nothing. I once heard someone say that becoming financially dependent on a man is the riskiest thing a woman can do financially. The riskiest. Not making a bet in Las Vegas, not stocks and all that, but being financially dependent on a man. Whether or not you are supported is contingent upon him loving you and wanting to be with you. And folks be switching it up at the drop of a dime. I remember years ago, I was talking to this woman, and I was telling her how I got home at 9:30 and I had been at work all day, and she goes, "Ooh, I'm so glad I'm done with that. All I got to do is stay home and take care of my kids." And the funny thing is, she was up before I was, packing lunches and getting breakfast ready. And she was up longer than I was, taking care of kids and getting the house clean. So while I worked outside the home, she was still doing work, and much longer than the work I had been doing. So if you want to live in a delusional world where being financially dependent on a man, and you assume that you're not working just because your work is in the house, I'm going to need you to wake up, because you're probably undervaluing yourself if you think that being a stay-at-home parent is not work, okay? And you're not even getting paid for it. You're not making not a dime. There are no benefits, and courts do not favor women who stay home. And all this, I'll take half his money. The average American is not with a man to take half of shit. They're not making enough money to take half of a damn thing. And even if a judge orders something, they're not going to pay it. A lot of y'all are going to F around and find out. Good luck with that.